As we go throughout the month of February, with each day that passes by, we are getting closer to the very end of filming for Star Wars Episode 9 by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, as you all know, today is a big day for Episode 9. We do know that there's a lot of people talking about the leaked photographs of many of the characters coming into this story that will bring a close to the Skywalker saga. Now, what's really interesting has all to do with the new villain entering into Episode 9, at least one of the new villains in Star Wars Episode 9. If you guys would like to go ahead and check out some of the leaked photographs below in the description, including a first look at one of the new villains in Episode 9, it will be linked below in the comments and in the description. I deeply do apologize, I'm just being very cautious from including any visual stuff in the video. Now, moving on forward, let's talk about this new villain that was actually leaked today that a lot of people are talking about, and who he actually is going to be in the film. Now, a lot of people are very intrigued about what JJ is trying to do by including either a new threat of villains to Kylo Ren, and of course, new side villains in Episode 9 that will have smaller roles. So as of right now, we're not quite sure if this is going to be the new main villain per se, or just one of the smaller villains in Star Wars Episode 9. Now, this new character from the leaked photograph, if you guys want to go ahead and check it out below in the description and in the comments, like I say, this new villain actually does have a spear of some kind on the back, and he has a lot of things around his belt, and he's actually got like this weird looking mask where there's like eye holes. It looks like almost like he's wearing like something creepy out of a horror movie. But when we actually do look at this character, we do know that he's going to be one of the villains in Star Wars Episode 9. There's going to be multiple villains in this movie. Now, are they going to be as big as Supreme Leader Snoke or Emperor Palpatine like that? Not necessarily. These are basically just adversaries for the character of Kylo Ren. So, what's really intriguing is that this character is actually said to be codenamed the Collector, and actually has a handful of lightsabers that were actually fallen from other Jedi during the events of Order 66 and collected over the years, that were eventually handed down to this character. Now, this character, codename being the Collector, is definitely the original idea that JJ had in mind for the character of Kylo Ren. I don't know if you guys knew about this, but there was an original idea in place by JJ to call Kylo Ren, I believe it was, the Collector. And now you can see that that original concept is transferring on over to this new villain in Star Wars Episode 9. Now, it's described that this character has a handful of green lightsabers as well as blue lightsabers that he actually has stored in one of his backpacks and on his belt. Now, you can't really see it too well in this image, but you can kind of tell that there is something around his waist. This is most likely where he stores the lightsabers that he has owned for many, many different decades after the events of Order 66. So with that being said, we do know that this movie is going to be very dark. We do know that J.J. Abrams wants to make this movie darker than that of The Last Jedi, and what better way to do this than including a new threat against Kylo Ren with multiple villains coming his way, and this could very well serve as a way for both Kylo Ren and Rey to team up to take on a greater evil of some kind. So this new villain, I gotta say, once again, if you guys want to go ahead and check out what he looks like below in the comments and in the description, you can see that he's got a creepy mask on, he's got what appears to be a spear or a staff attached to his back, and he's got a large belt around his body and a lot of different compartments that actually hold a lot of different objects, most likely the lightsabers that we are talking about that range from colors to green to blue, collected during the events and after the events of Order 66. And it also makes one wonder, how long has this character been around? Now, as of right now, this is the only look that we have of this new character, this new villain in Episode 9, that's either going to have a huge role in the movie, or is going to have more around the lines of a minor role in Episode 9. So that's the great thing about this film, is that JJ is really trying to create a new threat in Star Wars Episode 9 that'll actually collide with the First Order, and it also kind of reminds me of something from the EU and Legends. I think that there was a story where you had two different factions of the Empire, where the rebellion was actually going up against, and they had to side with one side of the remnants of the Empire. So it could be something like that, where the Resistance has to actually side with the First Order and or Kylo Ren in order to take on this greater evil. That's a possibility for sure as well. But anyways, guys, I would love to hear your opinion about this new villain that is codenamed the Collector, who has a handful of lightsabers ranging from colors of green to blue, collected during and after Order 66 that was eventually handed back down to this character. It's also the original codename for the character of Kylo Ren from The Force Awakens. Very interesting stuff indeed. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. From night to moon, we hear their moans again.